I love cooking based on my travels, so the recipe we'll be exploring today takes some of my learnings from my experience in Goa.
Now I'm back from Goa. One of the dishes I'm inspired to make is actually the Goan Poie. This is an everyday bread that the Goans eat with their breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I'm adapting from this Indian chef called Sanjeev Kapoor, his recipe, so you too can also try it at home. Let's get started.
To start, we're preparing a yeast mixture consisting of water, instant yeast, and a little sugar. The full recipe can be found in the description below.
There's a common question that what's the difference between the Goan Poie and the puri? So puri is something that we commonly see usually served in the restaurant or any Indian house. Usually just flour and water. And usually the puri is fried. For the Goan Poie, we're actually going to use yeast. Also for Goan Poie, we're going to bake it. We're not going to fry it. So there are two types of flours we're going to use today. One is called maida. Maida is actually all-purpose flour. You can buy anywhere in the supermarket. And then atta is actually whole wheat flour. And you can see it has a little bit like an off-white tinge to it. In the supermarket, if you cannot get whole wheat flour, I think any whole grain flour, just give it another blend of the flour into the mixture.
Measure out both types of flour and then pass them through a sieve.
Alright, so I haven't mastered the art of not making a mess when sifting. It's completely normal. Any home cook can understand.
To the flour that did stay in a bowl, add some salt. Then add in your yeast mixture.
So now we're going to start kneading the dough for the Goan Poie.
The kneading process of dough goes through many stages, starting out scruffy and rough like you see here. But how do you know when the dough is done kneading?
There are actually three things that you look for. I would say three things. Number one is your hand needs to be clean. Two is your bowl needs to be clean. Number three is your dough needs to be clean. Once these three things are clean, then you're done kneading your dough and you can let it rest. Kneading is good exercise. See how I'm sweating now. I mean, use a lot of your elbow grease. See my bicep muscle?
Once you hit your 3 signs of clean, turn the dough out and give it a few final turns. Add some oil to a clean bowl, then plop your dough in. Cover and allow to rest for at least an hour or until double in size.
One of the unique ingredients in the Goan Poie is actually wheat bran. However, wheat bran is not easily accessible outside of India. What I'm going to do to substitute wheat bran is actually using oatmeal. What I will do is actually take this oatmeal and grind it into oat bran. So the oat bran will become the substitute to the wheat bran.
As a benchmark, wheat bran is pretty fine, but just keep blending until you get the texture you like.
Alright, so I know this is not necessarily authentic Goan Poie to put oat bran, but this is what I have access to at the moment, so we make do what we have. Now the dough for the Goan Poie is ready. It rests about 1 hour. You can see it nice and pop up. I'm going to roll it into small individual balls. Alright, I'm not supposed to be so oily. Just now when I coat the bowl, I put quite a lot of oil. But you don't have to put so much oil. Just note to self, as long as it doesn't stick, it's okay, but it's fine.
Using the bench scraper makes things easier. Start by dividing the dough into 2, then divide each half into 6 pieces. Each piece should weigh about 60 grams each.
So I'm trying to get it to be as precise as possible or as even as possible among the different dough, but don't sweat about it.
It's time to set the dough balls aside again because it's time for the rolling.
So what I saw at the Goan local bakery, these ladies are a machine. They can roll the dough in 2 seconds in a perfect round shape. Today I'm going to show you the amateur version.
This amateur suggests pinching and folding the dough into itself until a smooth top is formed. Cover the dough in the oat bran. Then roll out the dough with the even strokes and pressure into a 1/4 inch thick round. Add more oat bran when needed. Transfer the rolled oat dough onto your lined baking sheet.
Alright, I'm going to cover the foil. I brought something. Hey, bitch, I am the secret ingredient.
Let the dough proof for a second time for about 30 minutes before placing them in preheated oven 220 degrees Celsius for 10 minutes. The poi should puff up during its time in the oven, and the greater the puff, the better you have done. Lightly golden and delicious looking, you can transfer them to a wooden bowl for serving. Make sure to cover in a tea towel to keep them from drying out.
Now I finished making the Goan Poie. It's nice and warm. The dish I made to accompany it is actually the chicken Kapoor. It's also a Portuguese influenced dish. The main ingredients are cilantro, green chilies, and a variety of herbs. And thus the base, then we make it with the whole chicken that's cut into different pieces.
Garnish the chicken Kapoor with coriander and fried onion slices. There you have it, my take on a Goan Poie, served with a delicious fresh chicken Kapoor curry. Enjoy the poi fresh out of the oven and savor its steamy goodness.
Goes really well. It has a chew to it, crunch on the outside, and it just goes really well together like a mouthful of delight. My mouth is watering.